Why do bad things happen to good people? This question has perplexed humanity throughout history, cutting across cultural, philosophical, and religious boundaries. It's a question that often arises in moments of pain and suffering, when the injustices of life seem stark and inexplicable. From a Christian standpoint, this question isn't just philosophical but deeply theological, touching the very nature of God's character and his relationship with the world. The Bible does not shy away from this question. Instead, it addresses human suffering through narratives, poetry, and prophetic writings, providing a complex yet comforting perspective on adversity. As we explore these biblical insights, it's crucial to approach them not solely for answers, but for understanding and solace. This video aims to delve into these scriptures, supplemented by viewpoints from Christian thinkers and real-world scenarios, to offer a reflective yet hopeful exploration of this profound question. In grappling with the enigma of suffering, it is essential to recognize that the Bible presents a God who is both sovereign and intimately involved in the human experience. This duality can often lead to confusion and distress, especially when faced with personal or communal tragedies. However, through scriptural exploration, we can begin to see how these seemingly paradoxical truths coexist and how they can offer peace amidst turmoil. As we progress through the essay, we will explore various biblical responses to suffering, insights from well-known Christian authors, and contemporary examples that will help us understand this complex issue. The aim is not only to seek answers, but also to foster an environment of faith and trust in God's larger plan for humanity. The Bible is replete with references to suffering, often seen as a means of testing and refining faith, or as a consequence of living in a fallen world. For instance, the book of Job is a profound exploration of suffering. Job, a righteous man subjected to severe trials, struggles with understanding the purpose behind his suffering. Through this narrative, we learn about the sovereignty of God and the limits of human understanding. Where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Job 38:4. God asks Job, highlighting our limited perspective. Similarly, the Psalms provide a voice to the suffering. Psalm 22, for example, expresses despair so profound that Jesus himself quotes it on the cross. My God, why have you forsaken me?" This articulation of anguish shows that feeling abandoned or questioning God's presence in our trials is a natural human response. Yet these very scriptures also often end in affirmations of trust and praise towards God. The New Testament further develops the theme of suffering, particularly through the life and crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Hebrews 4:15 reminds us that we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet without sin. This establishes a profound connection between divine empathy and human suffering. Moreover, Romans 8:28 offers a broader theological framework, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. This verse does not trivialize pain, but reassures that in the grand tapestry of life, every thread of hardship is woven with purpose. Understanding these perspectives can help frame our experiences of suffering within a larger, hope-filled context. Throughout history, numerous Christian theologians and philosophers have wrestled with the question of why suffering occurs. C.S. Lewis, in his seminal work, The Problem of Pain, argues that pain is God's megaphone to rouse a deaf world. According to Lewis, it is when we are in pain that we begin to give our attention fully to God, allowing us to grow closer to him and develop virtues such as humility and faith. Another influential thinker, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who suffered and was ultimately martyred during World War II, offered profound insights into the Christian understanding of suffering. Bonhoeffer believed that suffering was a form of fellowship with Christ, a concept he articulated in his letters from prison. He viewed his struggles as part of a larger narrative of God's redemptive work, suggesting that in suffering, one participates in the life of Jesus. Contemporary authors like Philip Yancey also contribute to this dialogue. In his book, Where is God When It Hurts?, Yancey explores how faith can survive, even thrive, amidst severe trials. He emphasizes the role of the Christian community in supporting those in pain, suggesting that the presence of caring individuals can be a powerful manifestation of God's love in times of suffering. These insights do not solve the problem of suffering, but instead offer ways to perceive and endure it. By integrating these theological perspectives with personal and communal faith practices, believers can find meaningful ways to navigate their hardships while maintaining a steadfast hope in God's ultimate goodness and sovereignty. In recent years, the world has witnessed an array of catastrophes that have prompted many to revisit the age-old question of why bad things happen to good people. From natural disasters to acts of terror, these events can shake the faith of even the most devout believers. It's important, however, to see these events in light of biblical teachings and the insights of Christian thinkers. Take, for example, the global pandemic that struck in 2020. This crisis led to widespread suffering, with millions affected by loss, illness, and economic hardship. During such times, the biblical Job story of endurance in the face of inexplicable suffering resonates deeply. Job's story reminds us that while the reasons for our sufferings may remain obscured, the call to maintain our integrity and faith persists. In the face of terrorism and violence, such as the attacks that have frequented news headlines, Christians are challenged to respond not with hatred but with forgiveness and love, reflecting Jesus' teachings in the Sermon on the Mount. Matthew chapter 5 verse 44 instructs, "But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you," which guides believers towards a response that is not instinctual, but is transformative, both personally and globally. The plight of refugees and those caught in political conflicts also presents significant moral and ethical challenges. Here, the parable of the Good Samaritan, found in Luke chapter 10 verses 25 to 37, offers a powerful framework for action, emphasizing the need to extend compassion beyond cultural or religious boundaries. This biblical directive encourages Christians to take tangible steps toward alleviating suffering, advocating for justice, and embodying the love of Christ in a fractured world. Each of these scenarios invites believers to apply their faith to real-world problems, reinforcing the relevance of biblical teachings today. The stories of faith, endurance, and hope that emerge from modern-day suffering can serve to inspire and encourage individuals and communities alike. In the midst of suffering, it can be challenging to maintain hope and keep faith. Yet the Bible offers numerous assurances that God is with us in our trials. Isaiah chapter 43 verse 2 promises, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you." This verse, among others, serves as a reminder of God's enduring presence and protection even in the darkest times. Faith does not eliminate pain, but it provides a lens through which to view it. It teaches believers to look beyond the immediate to the eternal, to see temporary suffering in the light of everlasting joy. This perspective is crucial in maintaining spiritual health and emotional resilience. By trusting in God's sovereign plan, believers can find peace amid chaos, strength in weakness, and hope in despair. The role of the Christian community is also pivotal in sustaining hope. Galatians chapter 6 verse 2 instructs believers to carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. This communal aspect of faith means that no one has to face suffering alone. The support, prayers, and practical help provided by fellow Christians can be a significant source of comfort and strength. Moreover, the promise of redemption and restoration is central to the Christian hope. Revelation chapter 21 verse 4 offers a vision of a future where he will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. This ultimate hope does not belittle current pain, but offers a profound assurance that all suffering has an end, and a glorious one at that. By embracing these truths, believers can navigate the complexities of life's challenges with a steadfast faith that does not waver in the face of trials. This enduring hope is not just for the individual, but serves as a beacon to the world, demonstrating the power of faith to overcome even the most daunting adversities. As we conclude, it's important to acknowledge that while the question of why bad things happen to good people may never be fully answered this side of eternity, the biblical insights and reflections shared in this essay provide a framework for understanding and enduring suffering. The journey through pain is not a solitary one, but a path walked with a God who is deeply involved in the intricacies of each human life. Trusting in God's plan requires faith and patience, qualities that are often hard-won in the furnace of suffering. Yet it is through these trials that many have found their faith to be not weakened, but strengthened. their relationship with God not distant but deepened. As Christians, the call to trust in God's sovereignty and goodness is an invitation to view life's challenges as opportunities for growth and deeper communion with the divine. Let us, therefore, take heart in the fact that our sufferings are not unnoticed by God. He is with us, refining us, and preparing us for a future where every tear will be wiped away and every pain healed. In the meantime, our hope remains not in the absence of trouble, but in the presence of our God, who is ever faithful and just. In reflecting on this topic, we are reminded of the profound mystery of God's ways and the depth of his love for us. May this exploration encourage and strengthen your faith as we continue to trust in the God whose plans are always for our good and his glory. By embracing these biblical truths and supporting each other in our journeys, we can navigate the complexities of life with a hope that is both enduring and transformative.